They thought they were entering the most beautiful ice cave on Earth, but minutes later the glacier sealed them inside with no way out. What happened over the next few hours became the greatest fight for survival of their lives. The powerful blades of a helicopter cut through the freezing Antarctic air as the Walker family silently looked out across one of the most isolated places on Earth. Endless fields of white ice stretched beyond the horizon, interrupted only by towering blue glaciers that shimmered beneath the pale afternoon sunlight. What had been planned as an unforgettable family adventure was slowly becoming something far more dangerous. 12-year-old Liam Walker watched the frozen landscape with endless curiosity, while his younger sister Emma admired the breathtaking scenery, without realizing that before the day ended, every member of the family would be forced into a desperate fight for survival. Their parents believed every detail of the expedition had been carefully prepared, but Antarctica had never been a place where careful planning guaranteed safety. After landing at a small scientific research camp, the family was welcomed by an experienced polar guide who had spent years exploring the frozen continent. Weather conditions appeared perfect, making it an ideal opportunity to visit one of Antarctica's naturally formed blue ice caves. Before beginning the journey, the guide carefully explained that glaciers were constantly moving, causing the caves to change shape every day. Even familiar paths could disappear without warning. Remaining together at all times was the most important safety rule, because a single wrong turn beneath thousands of tons of ancient ice could quickly become life-threatening. Liam listened closely while Emma's attention remained fixed on the glowing blue cave entrance in the distance. The breathtaking beauty of the frozen landscape hid the silent danger waiting beneath it. The family stepped inside the enormous ice cave and immediately found themselves surrounded by glowing walls of crystal-clear blue ice. Sunlight passed through the glacier, filling the tunnels with soft shades of sapphire and turquoise that seemed almost unreal. Every sound echoed gently through the frozen chambers as tiny drops of melting ice fell somewhere in the distance. Liam eagerly photographed the incredible formations, while Emma admired the shimmering walls with childlike excitement. The peaceful atmosphere made it almost impossible to imagine that the glacier surrounding them was constantly shifting. As the family explored deeper into the cave, Daniel quietly noticed a long, thin crack stretching across part of the icy ceiling. Although it appeared small, something about it felt unsettling. The guide remained calm and the moment passed without concern, but an uneasy feeling continued to grow beneath the surface. Farther inside the glacier, the group entered a massive chamber filled with towering pillars of ancient ice that had formed over countless centuries. The guide explained that tiny bubbles trapped inside the glacier contained air from a world that existed long before modern civilization. The frozen landscape appeared perfectly still until a deep rumbling vibration suddenly echoed through the cave floor. Everyone instinctively stopped moving as the mysterious sound rolled beneath their feet before disappearing into complete silence. Although natural glacier movement was not unusual, the atmosphere inside the cave had changed. Even the experienced guide briefly studied the ceiling before continuing forward, revealing a quiet concern that no one else failed to notice. A narrow side passage glowing with brilliant turquoise light soon attracted everyone's attention. It appeared untouched, almost inviting, and after a brief moment of hesitation, the group carefully continued into the smaller tunnel. Within seconds, the distant rumbling returned, this time louder and much closer. Tiny fragments of ice began falling from the ceiling as the frozen walls vibrated around them. The peaceful silence instantly transformed into overwhelming chaos when a deafening crack echoed throughout the glacier. The ground shook violently beneath their feet as enormous blocks of ice crashed into the tunnel behind them. Clouds of frozen snow filled the air while the thunderous sound of collapsing ice continued for several terrifying moments before everything became silent once again. As the frozen dust slowly settled, flashlight beams revealed the devastating reality. The entrance they had used only minutes earlier had completely disappeared beneath enormous slabs of solid ice. Every possible escape route had been sealed by the collapse. The guide immediately attempted to remove several blocks of ice, but their enormous weight made every effort impossible. An emergency radio offered what seemed like the only remaining hope, but the device had been damaged during the collapse and refused to function.